Welcome to the No Dunks podcast presented by FanDuel. It's Monday, January 12th, 2026. I'm J.E. Skeets here in the Classic Factory, and alongside me, as always, Tass Mellis.
Podcast listeners, this is for you.
Next to him, it's my top shot hot boy, Trey Kirby.
Ayo.
Hey, yo. And over yonder, making the magic happen, super producer JD.
Hello.
There he is. Here we are. Hello to everybody on YouTube. Hello, podcast listeners. Trey Kirby, congratulations on your Chicago Bears moving on. Tass Mellis,
awesome
your
game.
Buffalo Bills moving on. Good weekend for the football guys.
Bears Bills Super Bowl?
Let's do it.
That'd be awesome.
Okay. We'll do a live watch party here in the Classic Factory for the Super Bowl. All right.
Book it.
You also were down at the not State Farm, Mercedes-Benz for Friday night's college football game.
Saw the Hoosiers.
Holy, you watched a lot of football this week.
Hoosiers.
Okay.
That's their thing. They do this cool IU celebration as well. I'm on board with Indiana football. That's a thing now
Okay.
because of Mark Cuban.
Oh, he just pumped a bunch of millions into
he
it?
sold the Mavs and bought the Indiana Hoosiers football team, basically.
College sports.
And guess what? It worked.
All right. Okay, excellent. But what a comeback from the Bears. Again, against the Packers.
It was destiny. There's no other way to put it. They had their greatest comeback ever a few weeks ago, the December 22nd game or whatever, coming back from 12 points down with 2 minutes left. And then this was their biggest comeback ever, period, against the Packers. And it happened in the playoffs. Delicious.
Oh, my God.
Delicious.
That stadium was rocking.
Oh, my goodness. How many times did we see the guy who was grating cheese?
I know.
I went through how many blocks of cheese?
So much wasted cheese.
So much wasted cheese. Laura was furious. She's like, I hope the guy in front of him is just sitting there with his mouth open.
That's a great move, though. You bring in a grater and cheese into the stadium. That's pretty cool.
And
did you see any at the stadium? Did you go to Jacksonville to watch the
I
Bills?
did not.
Oh.
No, I was going to ask you. Well, do you have any thoughts on the Bills with their comeback win?
This was so sweet. I knew it was happening. I knew Josh Allen was going to be on his back foot with that bomb. That was a sweet pass. Very
Did you
sweet
think,
pass.
were you worried that they scored too early? Because they got this kicker, this guy named Little that apparently kicked from 80 yards. So it's like, oh, no, you got to kill more clock before you punch it in. No?
That tush push was too hard? No, I mean, no.
Okay.
Were you worried about that?
No, I also don't care at all. But
It is crazy though to see field goal range be at the 50-yard line.
Oh, yeah.
That the red line coming
Very
across
weird.
the field. Okay.
It's amazing.
Don't give him a chance.
So there's your football talk. More to come as the playoffs move on, and maybe the Bears and Bills can advance. We got a lot of basketball to get to here because that was played over the weekend. We also shared something on Sunday. I'm sure a lot of you either watched or listened to in your podcast feed, but if you didn't, go check it out. The Basketball Jones pilot episode. We unearthed this. Tass had it on a hard drive, which eventually found its way to his computer. Episode 000, basically. Never released before.
Yeah.
And it was 20 years to the day yesterday, January 11th, 2006, that we sat down in Toronto and tried our hand at podcasting. And so we thought, this would be fun as we celebrate 20 years here this month. Let's throw this up. And people seem to get a kick out of it.
You sound a little bit different.
I do. You sound identical.
I sound pretty close.
People said I sound like I was 17 years old, 14 years old, and the lowest number I saw, 12 years old. I was 25, I think, at the time, but yeah, I definitely sound younger than I am. What a shock.
It's great to hear the dogs in JD's house. I heard some.
Could you hear
some nails?
Oh, I didn't hear that. I didn't
nails.
pick that up. I like when the phone rang.
Clickety clack.
A little clickety, yeah.
Clickety clacks.
Phone went off. Yeah, it's great.
JD didn't have a mic.
Nah.
Anyway, it was history in the making there.
yeah.
I mean, think about this. How crazy is this? 20 years to the day, they hand out a Golden Globe for the first time ever to Best Podcast. And we started podcasting 20 years before. We were one of 8 people podcasting. Nobody knew what it was. We barely knew what it was when we were doing it. That's just crazy to me. Yeah. And we weren't nominated, unfortunately. So maybe next year, guys.
Gotta go up against Amy Poehler.
Yeah, good.
Come on.
Congratulations to Amy on the big win.
Well, there's a $70,000 entry fee or something like that. So
Okay, you don't
There's a bit
you
of a
don't think
barrier
the
of entry.
sickos in the No Dunks universe would pool together the money and get us a submission for a nomination next year? $70,000.
I wouldn't want that for them, to be honest.
Well, just take all the
season of Woe Boys.
Yeah, exactly. I was gonna say, take all the Woe Boy money, put it to that, and then we get to go.
Sure.
I think you get to go if you're nominated. I don't know what seat they'd put us at, way in the back.
You're going on your own dime, though. It was so, yeah.
Okay.
Okay.
Well, hey, look, we can't win if we're not nominated, JD.
That's 100% right. 100% right.
We got a whole year to plan this, all right? Let's get on it. All right, should we get into it? Let's do it. On today's show, we got NBA weekend winners and losers, the latest on Anthony Davis's hand injury, and I guess the Grizzlies are open to trade offers for Ja Morant. We'll actually start the show with that, but we got 2 more wedgies on Friday night. Number 32, VJ Edgecombe. Please call him VJ Wedgecombe here with the corner 3. And then Ryan Rupert got fouled on his drive to the basket there, but we're counting that. That's number 33. So good stuff as they tick, 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 tick up. And we're on pace for 62. And if you want to check out how we grade every wedgie or how I do, that's on our Substack. Link in the show notes.
We had a Ryan Rupert of him. Nice to see.
Nice.
Yeah. And you said it with a little French Canadian accent.
I sure did.
Yeah. Just like our first episode, there was a little more.
Oh, people said,
Canadian.
yeah. I definitely sound much more Canadian, I think.
Yeah, I do.
Well,
too.
we both do,
I do
yeah.
too, yeah.
Which makes sense. We are Canadian. Especially way back then. Okay, Ja Morant. Let's start with this. The Grizzlies reportedly open 2 trade offers on Ja Morant. A drastic change in tune after initial reports surfaced back in November of a possible divorce between the two. But now, TK, they're saying, call us.
Call us, please.
What do you got for Ja Morant? Maybe this is because Trae Young recently traded to the Washington Wizards, but yeah, your thoughts on this report over the weekend?
He gone.
I agree.
That would be my number 1 report from this report. And, John Hollinger kind of spelling it out. The way that these things kind of happen in front offices is that there might already be a deal that the Grizzlies are okay with taking.
Yep.
But now that they're saying we're opening up the bidding to whoever, they're trying to increase the offers, strike up some sort of a bidding war, because once we get into it here, it's going to be tough to kind of figure out a perfect team for Ja Morant. The way it went down with Trae Young was only the Wizards really made sense. When we went through like our 5 deals, we graded them all. Kind of only the Wizards was the one that seemed to be a fit for both sides of the trade.
Right.
That's one more team off the roster for the Grizzlies at this point. So they have to canvass the entire league, figure out if there's anybody who's willing to kick in for Ja Morant. I wonder what the return will be and compare to Trae Young. Ja is signed through a longer contract, whereas Trae has a player option for next season. It's more of a rental, so I guess you could say we're getting more stability with Ja Morant. We at least know he's going to be around longer for the team. I don't know if that's a good thing for the teams that are trying to trade for him, but definitely feels like the writing's on the wall. I think Hollinger said he thinks probably Ja Morant has already played the last game of his career for the Grizzlies since he's out with an injury right now. They wouldn't want to risk bringing him back and having him tweak something and being completely untradeable. So yeah, it feels like this hit on Friday afternoon, I guess, pretty soon after we finished recording. Feels like he is going to be on a new team by at least the deadline, if not earlier.
Right. It definitely feels like he's played his last game, considering he's a guy the last couple of years that has had injury problems. And that's the big difference between Trae Young and him, is that Trae Young has been solid in terms of just being able to play basketball games until this season, while Ja Morant has had a tough 3 years. It's been almost 3 years now. 22-23 was his last All-Star season where he was fantastic. This is different. This is about which team is willing to take a chance on Ja Morant, because the other big difference, as you mentioned, Trae, 2 guaranteed years after this one, versus what Trae was able to get back from the Wizards for just 1 year, essentially, with his player option. That is the big question. It sure feels like it's the Heat, if they're willing to take a risk. I don't know if you feel the same way as you did, Skeets, a couple months ago when you thought, the Heat, go get him. They can bring back Ja Morant into that culture, of who he is with what we are. But the Sacramento Kings also just seem like that's the right one.
The reporting on that one, though, from the Kings is they're not interested. And they actually want to do this rebuild the right way and sort of not panic and do something like that. So, yeah, for the Heat, though, let's talk about that. They could do Tyler Hero and Fontecchio. That would get you to the Ja Morant deal. Others wondering if the league will even allow the Terry Rozier expiring deal to be packaged. Then you could do that. So Terry Rozier,
What a
Fontecchio. Maybe Jovic or something like a young player that would entice the Grizzlies, and then future first round pick. My thing with the Heat, like that's not a whole lot, of course. Like Jesus, Terry Rozier, Fontecchio, or whatever, and then one future first round pick for Ja Morant. That's good. But are the Heat just like waiting for a potential Giannis wants to actually get traded, or Giannis is looking to go somewhere else that isn't maybe New York or even just leaving Milwaukee? That's like where I have reservations about the Heat making a move for Ja Morant, because they just seem like they're just like waiting and hoping and praying that they hold on to all these picks and young guys and some of these expiring deals to maybe make a move for Giannis. But
kind of like they were the rumored team. Like they were the ones that were going to get Damian Lillard. Yeah. So here we are in that similar scenario. Do
you have a team in mind here when it comes to Ja Morant, Trey? Because you're right, I'm with you. It's difficult. There's not a lot. There's like 4 maybe I can talk myself into.
There's like 4 teams that are sort of could get in the mix. Like the Raptors could get in the mix. They've got the contracts to make it happen. Ja would, I don't know, is he an upgrade over Emmanuel Quickly?
No, he's not.
A theoretical upgrade over Emmanuel Quickly. I don't know why the Grizzlies would want to do that unless the Raptors are willing to throw in a ton of picks on the future.
Yeah.
The Bucks are just in the mix for literally anybody at this point right now. They're peddling their Kuzma plus a future pick plus Bobby Portis package. That was the same thing that we talked about with the Hawks. Then the Heat, of course, are there. I don't know that I would want to bring Ja Morant to Miami necessarily. So for me, I think he will be involved in a 3-team trade with the Nets and with Michael Porter Jr. Okay. I don't exactly know how it all shakes out, but MPJ is going to be traded. That was another thing that Hollinger was reporting. We've talked a lot about how the Nets are targeting first-round picks for him. So there's a way for the Nets to get picks, for the Nets to get Ja Morant, and for the Warriors to end up with MPJ, who would be a huge help for them as well. So I think there's some sort of a formulation there. Kuminga would have to be involved. I don't know which team's getting stuck with him, but one of these 2 teams is, and maybe they can cut him in the summer, because I messed it up. He doesn't have a player option. It's a team option. So you could involve him in a trade, and it's basically a trade exception. So I think he's part of a deal that involves Michael Porter Jr., ends with Ja Morant in Brooklyn.
Ooh, I don't like it for Toronto. That would be a downgrade for me from Emmanuel Quickly, who actually plays basketball. I mean, he missed 1 year of his entire career, and that was last year when the Toronto Raptors got him, essentially, that season when Darius Garland went under him in game number 1. So he has been solid in terms of playing. I think that would be a big downgrade. I don't see them making that move. The Milwaukee one, I don't see them doing it either. It's just such a huge question mark to try and take that chance with Ja Morant. The Nets one, I don't think they do it either. And just because they go into this draft trying to rebuild, and they ideally would draft a point guard, because those are the top guys at the top of the draft, excuse me. So I think they just stick with what they got. The Michael Porter Jr., I understand you can overbid for him, like the Golden State Warriors definitely are trying real hard. Michael Porter Jr., a Trey Murphy, if they can convince the New Orleans Pelicans to try and get a wing. But I think the Kings, even though they are not in the reports, and I trust John Hollinger with all my life on this one, because John Hollinger, as you know, coming from the Grizzlies front office, knows that this deal is probably already done, as you brought up, Trey. Signed, sealed, and delivered. Whoever it is, it feels like it's the Kings for me. Whether it's Malik Monk as the lead guy plus DeRozan plus a pick. It's the pick is the important part. But who's taking a chance on Ja plus 2 years?
You don't think the Nets would do it?
To trade Michael Porter Jr.?
They owe a swap to the Rockets next season, 2027. They just would have Ja not play during the second half of this season and keep their pick for 2026, and then hope to be a little bit better so they don't lose a good one in 2027.
It depends what comes back, but I just see a guy from college coming into this environment, into that locker room that's at the exact same spot, playing the exact same role as Ja Morant. I don't like it. Doesn't really make sense to me. But yeah, you can. I think Michael Porter Jr. has been good, but you can overbid from with other teams. But I don't know if he's a lock to be dealt at this point.
Well, that's what Hollinger said in his article, and he doesn't usually say something like that.
Yeah, so he says he has a trusted.
Well, he has a very trusted.
I don't either. He said Patrick Williams was going to be good.
Whoops.
Yeah,
you can't knock them all out of the park. Yeah, Michael Porter Jr. I think the idea is like the Nets are just doing what they did with Mikal Bridges and selling extremely high. Maybe they get a bunch of draft capital for him.
Yeah.
Maybe it's a desperate team like the Warriors or the Bucks or whoever that just offers a little too much where you're like, okay, we can't turn that down.
And we'll have Michael Scotto on tomorrow, who's a Hoops Hype NBA insider, who has said, listen, Michael Porter Jr. is not going to be dealt immediately, but they're listening. They are listening, so we shall see what he has to say about that.
Per ESPN and Shams report, you won't believe this, the Grizzlies are prioritizing in a Ja Morant trade young players and draft capital. Just once, I want to see a report that has a team not wanting those things. I want it to be like, we want really ass old guys, and we don't want your dumbass picks. I just want to see that one day. But we'll see what the market sets for Ja Morant's value. Now, one thing that Ja Morant, unfortunately, has a similarity to Trae Young and his year in Atlanta before he got dealt to Washington is it just he is having the worst season of his pro career here. I mean, this is very, very bad. Ja Morant's scoring has dropped to 19 points per game, lowest since his rookie season, his rookie of the year win. You got to go way back then. Shooting a career lower, 40% from the field, 21% from deep. I rounded up to give him 21%.
Yeah.
And among 134 players with as many shot attempts as Ja Morant this season, he ranks 133rd in effective field goal percentage. He's basically the worst sort of high volume shooter in the league. It's been that bad.
And one game where he stopped trying. The one against the Los Angeles Lakers way back when. And he's only played essentially like 12 games since that happened on Halloween. So, he's rubbed people the wrong way. Unlike, Trae. It's a very different rub the wrong way that Trae Young had.
And with Ja, like he's visibly lost some athleticism here. Now, due to injuries, maybe over the last couple of years, yes. His efficiency at the rim, it's like on a downward trajectory, as are his attempts even just getting there. But the question is that all athleticism that he's completely lost because of these injuries, or is it he just doesn't give a fuck and he's mailing it in? We've seen this with other superstars. It would not surprise anyone if he's dealt when he's dealt, that suddenly the highlight dunks are back. You're kidding yourself if you think he suddenly can't jump anymore. Because I don't buy it.
He's doing it in games that he
I think it's a bit of both. I think it is maybe a little bit of both.
But his most recent game, he played a couple times. The Lakers, Philly were his last game as the calendar turned. He looked freaking athletic.
He looked better. Yes.
He has still got that athleticism. It's I guess it's a little different in that Trae's 3-point percentage has dropped this year and last year. Like Ja, when he gets out there, he looks freaking great. I mean, sometimes.
No, he doesn't.
Well, I would not go that far.
He had one good game. He had a 40-point game saying, bye-bye, Memphis.
Yeah.
This season of his 12 games? No, at the beginning of the season, his first game of the season was freaking great.
Oh, he always has a good
he's shooting
first game.
21% this year. The previous 4 seasons, including this season, he's like 30%. Like, he can't shoot. It ain't.
No.
That's never going to come around, and he's not the same athlete that he once was.
No. Listen, it's been 3 years of bad Ja Morant, but they're good games. There's some, I think, unlike Trae Young that's dropped off a little bit, there's one team out there, it just takes one, that says, whoa, this is the guy. And that's why the package of Michael Porter Jr., whoever it is, like whether it's a 3-team deal, there's not a lot coming back. That's the risky part here.
League sources told ESPN's Michael C. Wright that Ja Morant still hasn't gotten over the suspension earlier this season because he felt alienated by his teammates who were told to leave him alone so he could work through his issues that led to the suspension. So remember, that did happen this year too. And I think he's held on to that. It sounds like Ja Morant has not let that go, that he felt sort of the franchise and whatever they told his teammates and all that to like, just leave him alone, stay away from him. So he's pissed off. And look, we've said this for a long time. We've been early to this. Ja Morant's going to be dealt, and it's just a matter of time. And I'm with you, TK. I'm with you, Tess. I'm with Hollinger. They have a deal. It's probably not sexy. It's not probably good, whatever the return is. And now they're hoping, which is why we get this report from Shams, hey, we're open to trade offers. So, maybe another team's like, well, let's call and see what they're offering. Do we have a pick we're fine with, or another pick, or whatever young player? Yeah. Can we talk ourselves into going with him? Sure. But you guys have listed all the teams. The only other one I see is like, would the Wolves get into the Ja Morant business because they need a point guard? It's very difficult to get there. Second apron team, all that. You could. Probably has to be a third or fourth team involved. Naz Reid would be moving, I would assume, if you're to try and get Ja Morant on your team. I don't see it. I don't see it happening. So,
Nah, it's too complicated for them.
Yeah.
They have to give up too much, as in literal number of players.
Yeah.
Same as the Trae Young thing.
Yeah. And you said no to the Raptors. So quickly, Abaji, and let's even say a lottery protected first round pick. Tasmello says, no, thank you.
I do not think they
And
do that.
you're concerned about just complete no shooting on the team and stuff like that, like on a team that already struggles.
Yeah, they're a team that operates in the middle ground, and Ja Morant is not a 3-point shooter. That is clear. I think that's clear after his entire career. So yeah, it would be difficult to insert him into a locker room that's clicking. We're gonna get to some beautiful work here against Philadelphia 76ers, where everybody off that bench, they're playing Elijah Martin, who's balling. And to just throw Ja Morant into the locker room, I think is bonkers. It doesn't make any sense to me. That's why I think the Sacramento Kings are the team. But
okay, so it sounds like, Trey, you've got Ja Morant finding his way to the Brooklyn Nets. You've got still believing that maybe Ja Morant goes to the Sacramento Kings.
I think so.
I'll stick with Miami Heat. Again, I think it's a big unknown whether or not they can even use that Terry Rozier expiring deal with him on investigation and all this. But
It's basically like, try it.
yeah, I guess
Try
so.
it, we'll tell you.
Call it in. Yeah. So I'll go with him finding his way to Miami.
Yeah.
Hashtag heat culture. Put it to the test with Ja Morant. Could go very badly in South Beach. But maybe it doesn't. Maybe it works.
Maybe it'll be good for half a season.
Yeah, sure.
But then the years after is what I would be a little concerned about. It also makes me wonder, with Ja likely going to be traded in the next month here, is Jaren Jackson Jr. a guy that somebody could hop in and steal? He definitely feels more gettable. The reporting is that the Grizzlies want to rebuild around Jaren Jackson Jr. They gave him an extension in the summer. I don't think it happens this year, but I wouldn't be surprised if he looks around in the summer. He's like, Bane's gone. Ja's gone.
Yeah.
Why am I here?
Yeah.
So I would not be surprised if he moves during 2026, though unlikely, I think, at the trade deadline.
And here's a reason that Terry Rozier's contract could be guaranteed, because it's all up to the NBA league office as to whether he will be or not. But his contract just became fully guaranteed after they let him stay with the team after Wednesday, January 7th. That was when his contract became fully guaranteed this season. So they could have saved a little bit of money if they released him, if they were allowed to release him. I guess they were allowed to.
Yeah.
But at the same time, his number became bigger here. So 26 mil
Expiring
for Terry
deal.
Rozier.
Right.
Yeah. So maybe that helps out if they can.
Yeah.
It's a big number for Terry Rozier.
In other sort of trade rumors or reports, the Pelicans, I guess, are making it known that a number of the guys on their roster will not be on the trading block as we get closer to the February 5th deadline. According to Chris Haynes, Pelicans will not make Zion Williamson, Trey Murphy, Herb Jones, and then their two rookies, this is not a surprise, Derek Queen or Jeremiah Fears, available for trades. You scoffed at me a little bit there, TK. You don't buy it.
Nobody's available until the team says they're available. Nobody's going to trade anybody.
Right.
But I think Zion would be available if the right package comes along. And I definitely think Herb Jones would be the next most available as well. I'm comparing him with Trey Murphy. I think the Pelicans are more likely to keep Murphy than they are Herb. Herb's a guy I think that's definitely gettable, but we're a month out from the trade deadline. You have to act like you're keeping him so you get good deals.
Yes, yes. And also there's a bunch of names I didn't list there, or Chris Haynes didn't list. Jordan Poole. You can have Jordan Poole.
Get you a Sadiq Bey if you want.
Jose Alvarado, we already talked about him maybe being linked to the Knicks. So we'll see what the Pelicans do here as we move forward.
Saw Jordan Poole made a left-handed three-pointer this
see that,
weekend.
yes.
So you're getting 2 players for 1 if you trade for Jordan Poole.
That's a good point. All right, let's move off of Ja Morant. There'll be more Morant talk as we move forward. The Dallas Mavericks are likely to be without Anthony Davis for several weeks after he suffered ligament damage in his left hand in Thursday's game against the Jazz. You guys were downplaying it on Friday. Everyone's like, he fought through it. He'll be fine. Well, no, this is Anthony Davis, baby.
That's Anthony Davis, baby.
The team announced that AD is currently seeking multiple opinions to figure out whether he needs surgery, but he's expected to miss extended time, even if he, decides a non-surgical route here. Like, this is looking like weeks, if not longer. So another setback here, Tass, and could drastically change the impact of the trade market here too.
Maybe it helps every other team that wants Anthony Davis won't have to give up as much. He can only play with one hand. Jordan Poole can play with 2. This guy can only play with 1 right now. So looking forward to the reports. Really, it's about whether you think this hand injury is going to last forever. We know Anthony Davis ain't playing every single game. So that's what it comes down to, really. the team that's willing to give up something for Anthony.
So you only think this changes the trade package being offered for Anthony Davis. You don't think this completely puts to bed Anthony Davis being traded here in the next month. Some people do. People are like, why the hell? Who's going to trade for him now?
Yeah, well.
Unless you're, I guess, projecting a little further into the future, and getting him even lower. Like, you could be right.
Yeah. We just every team that trades for him knows that he's going to be hurt at some point. I don't know how long.
So it's better that he's hurt now.
for the package coming back. Yeah, possibly.
One in the bag is worth two in the bush, but this is for injuries to his hand.
What do you think, TK?
Maybe Tass is right. Maybe this is like a Black Friday deal where you're like, wow, what a great price. But then you realize they jacked up the price yesterday and it's only a good deal for today. And you're still going to have it long term because you still got to pay Anthony Davis. But it definitely wasn't a good sign when he showed up to games with a hurt hand wearing a sling. Nothing's happened surgery wise, but he can't even mobilize this thing. So I suppose a team, if they're interested in Anthony Davis, could buy even lower, knowing they got to give him an extension pretty much, but for next season. Like, I've said a billion times, I don't think the Hawks should do this, period. But if they can do it for super cheap and they can get him on the books for next season, maybe they want to do it. I don't like it. But I do think this is sort of the basketball gods telling the Mavericks, you got to tank. Just give it up this season. It ain't going to happen. They're 3 games out of the 10th seed. They're 10-10. When Anthony Davis plays this season, 4-15 without him. So Anthony Davis needing surgery on his hand just means to me, Klay Thompson, you're super available. Daniel Gafford, you're super available. These are guys that were already going to be on the trade block, but now I think that they kind of have to be traded because the Mavs might not be able to get great value back for him for AD. We've already been told the packages aren't going to be all that sexy going forward, and now he's going to have an injury likely at the trade deadline, so delaying his start for whichever team, which is the same thing that happened when he got traded to the Mavericks.
Yeah.
He was hurt. They had to bring him back a little bit early, and then guess what? He got hurt again. So I do think it's over for the Mavericks this season. I had a little confidence that they could make a run at the play-in tournament, but if AD's out, it's not going to happen. So I do think he could still be traded, but you can get him for even cheaper right now, except for, of course, the massive contract you have to give him at 34 years old.
Well, yeah, there's that part. Do you need to give him an extension, or do you just have him?
That's how it works.
When you make a trade for Anthony? Well,
Yeah.
You never know.
No, that's how it works, especially with Rich Paul clients. Like, he gets his guys paid.
$120 million is owed already for the next 2 seasons.
Yeah,
for
and
Anthony
he wants an
Davis.
extension of like 4 years, $280 million.
We all do.
Yeah,
I mean, that's
I gotta get me a Rich Paul.
Yes, we do. We got to sign with Clutch Sports.
We'll see on AD here, but these guys sounding like, they think he still might be moved, even though he's hurt now, and it sounds like he's gonna be out for a while.
Yeah, is he consulting all of these doctors to just get him on the court as early as possible? If they say, oh, you don't need surgery, you can just fight through it, just so he plays a game before trade deadline. I suppose that's a possibility.
So he can hurt his other hand or another body limb.
He's already got hurt eyes and a hurt hand.
Yeah.
His legs are okay right now, though.
Well, he's saving his eyes this season.
That's true. He's saving his eyes.
He's wearing goggles every single game. He got the Mavs training staff fired this offseason. I wouldn't say it's just him, but as you said, he came back a little early. Nico Harrison said, oh, bad move. Don't like that. Get out of here, training staff, before he was fired. A lot of things going on there in Dallas.
And you do wonder now what impact this has on Kyrie Irving potentially coming back or not. I've always been on record that we're not going to see probably Kyrie Irving, or very, very, very little of him. You guys were more like, no, he's probably going to come back. But now maybe now AD, if he's shut down, if he's moved, if they lean into a tank, why the hell would you be rushing him back at his age to potentially first off get re-injured and just like help your chances in the lottery as well? You don't want Kyrie helping you win games.
Yeah.
We'll see.
Cooper Flag needs some help too. Anthony Davis went out. Cooper Flag, bad game. Who knows? Who knows?
We're going to get to NBA weekend winners and losers, but first, a quick break.
For Dom Toretto, it's all about the NOS. But on FanDuel, it's all about the boost. Because game days mean your chance to boost your bet and make every play pay off. That's right, all customers get a 25% profit boost on NBA parlay and single game parlay bets. Tonight, I got Dom winning with Brian hitting the NOS first and Ja Rule not finishing. It plays pays 1 plus 160 on FanDuel.
Oh, that's pretty good odds.
Yeah, meet me down at the quarter-mile track later, where the pace is fast, the games are furious, and with FanDuel, you got more ways to make every win even bigger. So lock in your bets, boost your odds, and make every night count with FanDuel, official sports betting partner of the NBA.
Are we waiting on another Fast and Furious movie?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So Fast Friends will be back to recap another movie. Wow.
Yeah.
Well,
What?
are we? Is
Why-
it coming?
What? Hold on. He just told me the movie was coming. What are you talking about?
I don't know, Trey.
Oh.
2027, JD.
Whoa, that's soon.
Yeah.
You are an optimist.
So what? Tell me why
Makes
you don't think it's
$1
coming.
billion.
Yeah.
They haven't shot anything.
oh.
You think it matters what they shoot for these movies?
well,
just-
kind of.
they're
You
just
have
AI.
to shoot something.
No, just do it in AI at this point.
I guarantee they could hack together a movie with what they've already filmed.
I mean, fair point.
They made a whole movie after one of the lead actors died.
Yeah.
They just found they're like, we got his brother. We'll put his face on.
Yeah, that's a good point.
Yeah.
I mean, the character is still alive as well.
He just drove off.
Yeah.
Right? Oh, yeah. Right. Oh,
Out there
emotional.
somewhere.
Very emotional ending. Fast Friends. We did do a recap on every Fast and Furious movie. It's up here on No Dunks. It's on YouTube. Just search for it. We also did Jurassic Park. So what comes first, a new Jurassic Park movie or a new Fast and Furious movie?
Oh, FanDuel, get on this one.
Ah, there you go. Yeah.
But I'm hitting Jurassic hard.
Okay. Sounds like Trey's leaning FF.
First?
Yeah.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah. You
I
said
think
27.
They're going head to head, 2027.
I mean, let's be honest.
Jurassic Fury,
Bring them together.
Furious World Rebirth.
Hell yeah. Hell yeah. I mean, they've been to space.
Exactly.
Why not?
That'd be sick. Like Dom Toretto literally like we could beat this dinosaur in a race. Let's go.
Dom outrunning a pack of cephalosaurs
The
or
Rock
whatever.
fighting like a Tyrannosaurus Rex.
I would actually like to see The Rock fighting the headbutt ones.
Oh,
you know?
yeah.
That'd be a good scene.
Oh, those ones. I can't remember the name of that. We call them Friar Tuck. Okay. NBA weekend winners and losers. We're doing one batch each here. Task, get us started. Your big winner of the weekend.
Well, Anthony Edwards hit a game winner past Victor Wembanyama. Easy winner. You could see him line him up. They got the switch on him, and he just went side to side. He didn't know what he was doing. You could read his quote after the game. He said, "Damn, do I got the shot? Do I drive on him? I was confused, and I ain't never been confused. I ain't gonna lie." But he was able to drive right past him. Then there was another 7-footer there, Luke Cornett, no problem. Scores right over top of him. So huge winner for the Timberwolves, just beating the San Antonio Spurs there. I thought Randall guarding Wemby was the big difference in the fourth quarter. That Julius Randle really got super physical with him because Rudy Gobert was tossed from the game about 7 minutes left when he stepped under Victor Wembanyama's shot. It was so funny to see Rudy Gobert walk away from that and say, video review, as in I didn't go under him and then I'm get tossed for that same thing just because he got under him. Julius Randle did a really, really good job. And then as you saw, Victor Wembanyama tried to make a game winner over Julius Randle. His quote was, "All you can do is pray. So I'm not about to sit here and block your shot." But you just played him. I just played him more physically, and that's exactly what happened. The Wolves come back in the fourth quarter was classic Wolves. They started the game down 16-0. They trailed by 19 points, and then stormed back in the fourth to do it. That's what it was. And then everybody contributing. A big DiVincenzo 3, Jaden fade on Wemby, under a minute left. Jaden McDaniels has been great, and that's what they do. They come through in clutch minutes. Now, they lost a game against the Cleveland Cavaliers this weekend where 5 guys scored 20 points against them. You can say, they're a loser of the weekend, but just seeing Anthony Edwards do that, he's a winner. He's a winner because he adds that to the resume, and this team, as questionable as they are, as questionable as we see them against sub-500 teams, they're 4th in the Western Conference right now.
Yeah, they're 16-6 since Thanksgiving. So solid.
Yeah, they started getting better earlier this season than they did last season.
Yeah.
Because they did that after, in March, essentially, when they went 16-4 to close the season. So, yeah, they're looking good.
It does seem like the Timberwolves generally take a little bit of time to get rolling. I think it's because both Randall and Gobert are like tricky offensive players to make fit with the styles that they play. But once they finally start clicking, they can look pretty good on offense. That was just a clutch flagrant foul from Rudy Gobert because he was getting torched completely by Wemby. Wemby was giving him every kind of basket that he could possibly have, but kind of the secret sauce against Wemby is to have a smaller guy who's super physical and can get up underneath his center of gravity, which is what Randall was doing and definitely what he did on that last play when Wemby just couldn't shake him at all. So awesome stuff from a physicality standpoint, zero airspace from Randall. He really stepped up when the Timberwolves needed him, just making defensive plays. I thought that was really cool. I can't believe the Timberwolves shot 30% from three in this game. It felt like they were on fire. They only made 12 threes, but they got enough from DiVincenzo and Naz Reid. Those guys are out there basically to give some space for Ant and for Randall and Gobert to do some stuff inside. So enough 3-point shooting. And yeah, you're right. It was looking like the Wolves wanted to be losers of the weekend. That was an ugly loss against the Cavs. And then they were down 16-0 to start this one and looking kind of dead in the water for a huge chunk of time. But a nice win. Timberwolves took forever to get their first win against the 500 team. Now they're 9-10. I would have to go back and check the old stats, but my guess is that they started like 0-7 against 500 teams, which would mean they've been a lot better basically since December.
We're definitely struggling. Hell of a shot from Matt. Always good for a post-game quote, isn't he? He might be the best. I just like how how just honest and real he is when talking to the media after the game. So the Wolves and Anthony Edwards specifically get our first winner. What about you, TK? Where are you going?
2 wins this weekend. You got to watch out for the January Clippers. The middle of the season. That's when the Clippers thrive. They suck to start the season. You don't trust them in the playoffs. But right now, it's Clippers time. They beat the Nets easily on Friday, had a comeback win against the shorthanded Pistons on Saturday. Clippers trailed by 14 early in the fourth quarter and got it back within like 2 minutes, basically, because the Pistons had nobody playing. Cade's out, Duran's out. That's their majority of their offense. No Tobias Harris. It was just brutal turnovers for Detroit, throwing it straight out of bounds or straight to the Clippers. They could not stop fouling. Clippers finished the game on a 28-8 run to get the win. They're 4-2 in January. They've won 9 of their last 11 games. They're only a game and a half behind Memphis for 10th in the Western Conference. We know Memphis is looking at trading Ja Morant. That means it doesn't really hurt their team because the guy doesn't play anyways and doesn't have an effect when he does. But I do think the Clippers can catch the Grizzlies. In their last 11 games, LA is 3rd in offense, 7th in defense, 2nd in net rating. They've got one of the easiest schedules left in the Western Conference, and Kawhi Leonard continues to dominate. 26 points against the Knicks, 26 against the Pistons as well, both on 60% plus shooting. Is that 28, 6, and 4 this season? 50, 38, 94 shooting splits. He's played 22 straight games. Kawhi Leonard's going to be an all-star.
Wow, 7-time all-star coming up.
It's not out of the realm of possibility.
No.
Luka's played one more game than he has.
In the home arena.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Oh,
He should be an all-star.
It's in the Intuit Dome, yeah. I mean, obviously it'll be a selection. He's not getting in there with the starter votes. We find those out on Wednesday. We'll learn Luka is obviously an all-star starter. I'm sure. Well, we learn of the fan returns, I should say, and then obviously figure out the whole media and player votes of it all. But I think it's announced on this Wednesday, the starters. But yeah, do you think Kawhi makes it in a crowded all-star conversation?
He's playing for the Team United States of America? I think so. I think there's a chance.
He might be playing for United States or America. They got 2 teams.
Oh, is that what they're going to name him? I like that.
Maybe. Who knows?
Yeah.
I hadn't thought about that. Otherwise, it's just USA 1, USA 2.
Yeah.
I like that.
Yeah.
Do that.
With different colored jerseys,
Yes.
for sure. Kawhi has been... He's been old Kawhi. And I think that trickles down to guys like John Collins. John Collins has been playing his best ball. He looks like the guy that they traded for when they traded Norman Powell. He looks so good. His numbers in January, ridiculous. 6 games played. He's only shooting 72% from the field. He just looks super, super good. It's trickling down. So Kawhi, if I'd have to look through every single guy that's being selected, but I don't see why he wouldn't.
Well, you might as well start doing that. Because I'm thinking later this week we should start doing our legit all-star selections. Once we know the starters, it's always nice to get those 10 names out of the way, and then we can start debating the remaining 14, right? I guess. Yeah.
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 If there's 24 selected, yeah. So maybe we'll do that on Thursday or Friday later this week. So yeah, you start thinking, you start looking at that list. You start wondering if Kawhi's going to make it over who? I don't know. Denny Avdia.
Booker.
Booker,
You
yeah.
know,
good
those
one.
are Jamal Murray are guys that are
Right.
far down the ballot for the Western Conference.
Right. Şengün, he's injured though.
Came back last night, but
Oh, you did? Yeah, I
with
did.
little restaroo, I thought. But Kawhi's been awesome. And
This is the most he's ever scored.
yeah, and he has been leading the Clippers to wins, and there's guys out right now, so I don't think his games played are going to look ridiculous by the time we get to the All-Star break. And by then, the Clippers might be in the top 10 in the Western Conference. Like, it's not very impressive, but it's better than not.
The record is the only thing keeping him out of an automatic All-Star selection. That's it. And that's fair. I mean, I think we have to do that when you have so many guys that are
Well, I don't
viable.
know. People are saying Lowry Markkanen
considerations.
is a lock, and
Oh, no. Yeah. Lock? Whoa. I wouldn't go that far.
I'm just telling you what people are saying.
Okay.
I don't
Well, I
agree.
think Kawhi will be above Lowry Markkanen if coaches are selecting, in my opinion. But we'll see. All right, I have a winner of the weekend, and don't look now, but the Atlanta Hawks are back to within one game of 500. Yes! That's right. They picked up 2 more wins over the weekend in the post-Trae Young era, and a lot of it was in large part to their very strong guard play. Friday night, Dyson Daniels, triple-double for this guy. 17 points, 11 boards, 10 assists. Hawks used a huge fourth quarter against the Denver Nuggets. Outscored them 36-12 in the final 12 minutes. Now, Denver is still, missing a million guys, but the Hawks did the work there in the fourth, got the victory. And then on Sunday night, Nickeil Alexander-Walker scored 24 points. A bunch of Hawks scored in double digits as Atlanta beat the Warriors, 124-111. Luke Kennard, his best game by far
He was feeling it.
of the season. This guy was looking like freaking Klay Thompson, I guess, there in Golden State. He had 6 3-pointers off the bench. And like a couple weeks ago, they basically had to tell Luke Kennard, Quinn Snyder and the staff and maybe other teammates, like, hey man, when you're out there, you got to shoot. You're a 3-point shooter. You ain't out there for defense or really even moving the ball or anything. Like, you got to shoot the ball. Because he does it for a really good 3-point shooter. He'll go many stretches and a lot of games where he just doesn't get a lot of 3-point shot attempts up. He's starting to let it fly here. And obviously this was a huge game. He was knocking them down. They were finding them. CJ McCollum played. So did Corey Kispert. Not much from Kispert. CJ looked good in limited time off the bench. 12 points, a couple assists to Luke Kennard. He had 4 assists total, plus 19. And yeah, this is great. This is a good start here for the Hawks post-Trae Young being traded as they try and get back to 500 or at least one game within 500. And they're there and they're looking solid with the guard play especially. Nickeil had a good game on Friday night too. And then Jalen Johnson, I mean, he's an all-star and he filled up the box score both games.
Yeah, and it's a perfect lineup for the Golden State Warriors lineup. That's too teeny tiny.
Yes. Okongwu was great. Yeah.
Yeah, Okongwu looked really, really good. Luke Kennard looked so good. I think he basically is saying, Corey Kispert ain't taking my minutes. I know he can shoot, but these are my shots. Corey Kispert got out there, but CJ McCollum really liked the coming out, running out of the hall onto the field. He had a good smile.
Onto the
All
field.
guys.
This guy watched a lot of football.
Yeah, onto the field. Onto the court. It feels weird running from the hallway. It's a court, but it just feels like you're running onto the field. Yeah, they obviously perfect opponents for them. Yeah, as you said, Nuggets lacking, although they wouldn't got to win against the Bucks. And as I said, Warriors are too teeny tiny to play against this athletic team.
They don't need Anthony Davis, is what you're saying, or any other big. The Hawks do when they
Hawks.
play teams like this, because Okongwu can cook as obviously a small ball center. This is not an issue, and I thought he played well. And just CJ, man, like his pull up game. That unlocks something for the Hawks. Like it's like a lot of guys are driving and stuff like that, but he's unconscious and he is like a bucket when he's like a bit streaky at times, but he can get to a shot and the guy can still score even at his age. And especially with the bad year Trae Young was having, this is a value play here. This is a great ad this season. Maybe not moving forward. Trae Young, better player, but not right now. So Snyder closed with CJ McCollum or Vit Krejci. You're going to see a lot of that.
I hope so.
Yeah, you would think so. So he came off the bench in this one. I don't know if they'll continue to do that or he'll be starting, but he'll be closing games regardless.
Yeah. Will he start for Vít Krejci? I mean, I guess Porzingis is out as well, but who knows?
Yeah.
Literally, who knows with Porzingis? I imagine CJ will start some of these games, but I think he will often finish these games as a ball handler and a shooter. Dyson Daniels has really regressed on the offensive end this season, but I do think that McCollum can play alongside Daniels or alongside Nickeil Alexander-Walker, depending on whatever Quinn Snyder wants to go with. Risa Shea will be able to play eventually as well. So they've got options for starters there. But the Nard Dog is an interesting player. The guy's taken 3.3 three-point attempts per game this season. He only takes wide open threes unless he's on fire, and then he lets it go in a split second. Just got to change the brain a little bit and always let it go in a split second. His percentage would go down, and that's why he only takes the open ones. But, 42% on more threes is better than 48% on few threes.
I've watched a lot of Hawks games, especially early this year, and it's like he is pointless out there otherwise if he's not shooting.
Yeah.
And you can see them. They tell them. Because you're good, man. You got to fire it up. Yeah, even if it's
got
a higher
slow
volume.
release, though.
He does. And he's not obviously athletic at all compared to the rest of these NBA players. But
but he's got to shoot. He's had no problem shooting it in the past.
Yeah.
He's taken 6 threes a game. Been the league leader in 3-point percentage those years. He's led it. How many years he's led it? And he's leading it this year at 47.5, and he's led it 2 other seasons when he had 6 ripping from his hand in 1 year. So he can. It's surprising, really.
Other winner, just quickly here before we go to losers, Mo Wagner. He's back, man. Yep. He got a rousing ovation when he came off the Magic bench late in the first quarter against the Pelicans. He played 10 minutes. First NBA game in more than a year for him. And then now he's on his way back to Europe. He's going back to Germany with his Magic teammates as they're going to play later this week in Berlin. They eventually are going to play a game in London. Magic versus the Grizzlies in a 2-game set over there in Europe. So Franz, not back. Mo is, though. I hadn't seen him in a long time.
Yeah, I guess that's good for the fans in Berlin because no Ja Morant, no Franz Wagner.
Right.
Paolo's stinking it up right now, but at least Mo is back.
Mo Wagner's back, baby.
Yeah.
You got Tristan da Silva. Who else am I forgetting? Is there any other German?
Anthony Black can speak German, apparently.
That's what it is. I knew there was another tie.
He spoke it when he was a kid, when he had to live there because his dad was playing basketball there. But he only lived there for, I think, 3 years. Does he still have it? He will be asked.
He's going to be asked. We're going to test him for sure.
Apparently, he could speak it, and no problem. When he was 3 years old, he spoke it in his dreams at times. Well, it's a story. Apparently it's real. But guys coming back. Grant Williams also coming back for the Charlotte Hornets. He came back from ACL injury. He hadn't played in over a year. He played this weekend. Good to see Drew Holiday back. It's been a while. Come back for Portland. Guys are coming back.
Şengün, you did make his return. He wasn't gone that long. Let's do NBA weekend losers. Tass, who you got?
Rockets. Şengün is back, but they're not winning. They have lost 3 in a row. Now, they just seem to be lacking a little bit of tenacity. That's what this team is, and the ball handling. We'll get to that. Portland and the Kings beat them this weekend. Surprising. On Friday against Portland, they're up 13, beginning of the fourth quarter, and then they just didn't have any fight, and they didn't drive. Ime Udoka was asked about it after. He said, we don't have mental toughness. I took the 37-year-old out for a couple minutes, Kevin Durant, and we just didn't have it. The guys he was poking at were Reed Shepherd primarily, I think, and then it was Amen Thompson, Dorian Finney-Smith, Jabari Smith, and Steven Adams out there. But Reed Shepherd, he kind of got yanked in the second game of this weekend, and that's why I think he was going directly at Reed Shepherd. Now, Tari Eason got injured as well in that first game against Portland, and Jabari Smith took his minutes in that fourth quarter where he was super stinky. 0 for 7 from 3 in the quarter, over 0 from 8 overall in the game. Just a bad game. So then you think, okay, here comes Şengün for game number 2 against the Kings. All right, they should be back. It didn't happen. They started Aaron Holiday, and as I said, Reed Shepherd was really kind of locked down to the bench. He only played about 14 minutes in this game. I think Ime Udoka is trying to go at him. And you could see, as we've talked about, Fred VanVleet, the ball handlers that are lacking on this team with VanVleet's injury, they can be had if they are pressured hard enough and if they are fought hard enough. And that was the surprising thing. Maybe it was Tari Eason not being out there, but the Sacramento Kings had a higher fight level. They just wanted it a little bit more. The offensive glass was ridiculous, 30 to 18 in second chance points. You think that's what the Rockets do. They should be able to take care of that. But Dylan Cardwell was out there grabbing boards. That's what he does in the NBA. That's what he's out there for. Maxime Reynaud had 3. Cardwell had 9. I don't know if I mentioned that number. Achua had 3. Russell Westbrook, of course, going against Kevin Durant. He had a couple. So just bad to see them overall that entire game. They just fell apart. They didn't have fight. And Jabari Smith, again, another bad game, 4 of 13. That's kind of a concern. He's shooting 34.4% for the entire season from 3. It's a little surprising. I mean, that's kind of what he shoots throughout his career. But it is a little surprising. They've given him the keys. He has been cold. Edelman Thompson had a good game in that one. But I don't know how concerned you are, Skeets, about the Houston Rockets. You picked them as a team to get to the NBA Finals. They're literally in 7th in the Western Conference. Now, they've had a really road-heavy schedule. So they just haven't played a lot of home games. Maybe that's a part. They're 11-2 at home. They've only played 13 of their 36 games at home. So
it's going to flip here soon. You're right.
But still, I
don't love Udoka having to like multiple times this season. He has done we're mentally weak. He's played that card. He's not wrong. A lot of cases. I mean, he's got a great point. It's like, damn, we take Durant out, and like there goes our 13-point lead just like that. Like that should not be happening. We should not be relying on the guy that's 37 years old to be the guy that's bringing the aggression and playing tough. It's like. His point is like you guys with less talent, you should be playing twice as hard. So like they've been a good team this year. They've had some injuries now. They could use Van Vliet. That would help. That's like where a steady Freddie is perfect. Obviously, sort of like can help right a ship, but that's not for a while here, even if he comes back. So, I mean, I'm not freaking out. They're still a really good team.
No, of course.
He's obviously just trying to prove to them, like, we have to out-hustle teams.
Yeah, Jabari Smith hits a couple shots in that fourth quarter, and they probably win that game on Friday against Portland. But he's just cold. And it probably does stem from them being able to penetrate and get those shots out there because they were lacking that.
Mm-hmm. What are your thoughts on the Rockets here? Little slide, TK.
They need to make a trade. I just don't think that they have the right offensive formula to make a real run in the playoffs. In the game against the Kings, there was issues on both sides. They just couldn't finish possessions in the fourth quarter. Like you mentioned, Dylan Cardwell was unstoppable on the glass. He had 7 offensive rebounds in the fourth alone. And this is a team that's playing Adams and Şengün next to each other. That shouldn't be an issue for the Rockets. But on the offensive side of things, they have no easy buttons. None of their shots that they get are easy. It's all ISO, Şengün hitting tough shots over somebody, or Durant hitting tough pull-ups over somebody. Against the Kings, they went 5 of 14 from the field in the fourth quarter, had 4 turnovers, and on the other side of the court, the Kings are whipping the ball around. 9 assists on 15 shots. They looked so much quicker with the ball than the Rockets did. You look at both losses this weekend, 10 of 44 from 3 against the Trailblazers, 7 of 30 from 3 against the Kings. That's not going to cut it. They need somebody to give them a little production on the perimeter going forward. So, like, they got to be calling about Kobe White. They should be involved in some of these teams that are going to be sloughing off their veterans. Maybe they want to chase after Chris Middleton for something cheap. I think he would also throw in Jabari Smith here, like Tass is saying. They asked him after the game, what went wrong there in the fourth quarter? He said Jabari Smith. He brought it on himself, but he's really plateaued this season. He got the big extension over the summer and really hasn't lived up to it. His three-point percentage is down, and all he does is shoot three-pointers at this point. So I don't exactly know what he's bringing to the table because he's not like a lockdown defensive player. He's a fine positional team defender, I think. But Houston, I don't know how this is possible. They're 28th in the league in fourth quarter defense over the course of the entire season. That seems completely untenable to me. And actually, I don't understand how that's the case because they're a decent defensive team. Yeah. They've got a ton of size out there. Usually that adds up to being a stopper on that end. But from watching the Kings game alone, part of it, I think, was fight. That was something Udoka did all the time with the Celtics. Every time they lost, he would blast them for being softies until eventually they turned it around and went on a huge run. They didn't win with Udoka, but, he helped build the culture there and actually got them a little bit tougher. Maybe that's what the Rockets need as well because they're fraying a little bit here. They're struggling on the court, and Kevin Durant seems to be getting pretty upset.
Yeah,
with the way things are going.
Yeah, Kevin Durant tried to get Jabari Smith going shooting-wise. Tech free throw happened. Kevin Durant should shoot it, right? Now he goes, Jabari, you go, to try and get him going. It hasn't happened this season. It has been a problem. Tari Eason, missing him in this game, I think, is important, but also Tari Eason maybe becoming a little prone to injuries is also a problem. He's got an ankle problem. We'll see if he can come back, but that seems to be a thing over his whole career. But the ball handling and the fight level are two problems going forward here. And yeah, do they make a move? There's a Dennis Schroder out there if you want to go crazy, because the Kings are going to give up on Dennis Schroder. But, you know, the thing is, Fred could come back, and I think the push of Reed Shepherd into the role that he's been playing really good at would be odd to go get another ball handler to kind of push Reed back.
I think Reed's going to struggle a lot in the playoffs. I think he's going to have a tough time staying on the court.
Yeah, defensively for sure.
Yes.
The weird thing was Sunday you go with Aaron Holiday instead. Aaron Holiday ain't stopping anybody either. So Ime Udoka's just trying to play mental games with Reed Shepherd. I don't know if it's going to help.
Yeah, he coaches him hard, it feels like. There's like a little pop Tony Parker sort of vibe, it feels like, with Udoka and Reed Shepherd. Maybe that'll be great for his career. We'll see. Who do you have for a loser of the weekend?
Dennis Schroder, delayed loser of the weekend. He was suspended 3 games over the weekend for, quote, confronting and attempting to strike Luka Doncic after a December 28th game.
Yeah.
Guess it took a while to get the tapes.
Yeah, what?
From the bowels of the arena. The Lakers smacked the Kings on December 28th. Luka had 34. Doncic and Schroder are going back and forth, jawing all night. You can find courtside video of Luka saying to Schroder, should have signed that contract, baby. Bringing up 2021 trash talk to Dennis Schroder. There are unconfirmed reports then that Schroder slapped Luka while DeAndre Ayton just watched before security actually broke things up. But fighting in the tunnels, guaranteed suspension. The one that I brought to mind for me was Beef Stew. Was suspended 3 games for fighting Devin Eubanks before a game.
Oh, yeah.
Not too long ago. Devin Eubanks? Or Drew Eubanks, sorry. Drew Eubanks is a teammate right now of Dennis Schroder. So they can commiserate over fighting in
the tunnels.
But I also think it's a little interesting. Lakers are 3-3 since that fight. And there's been some DeAndre Ayton drama. So I'm wondering if there's lingering effects from him not having Luka's back, because Ayton's usage, rebounding down. He is becoming less involved, and things are going weird for DeAndre Ayton. And I wonder if it has to do with the backstage drama. Nonetheless, loser of the weekend goes to Dennis Schroder for getting suspended 2 weeks after he may have slapped Luka Doncic.
He at least was seeking him out.
He was seeking him out
to do something, because he didn't like how that trash talk was going. Once Luka started messing with his pockets and talking about his bank account, that's where he crossed the line in Schroeder's eyes. I mean, they both talk shit, both these guys.
Yes.
Notorious shit talkers. Great, fun, but I guess whatever it was, whether it was that or other things that were said, really pissed Schroeder off, and you want to talk to Luka after.
Sure seems like there's got to be some camera footage, like something that had to have happened for a 3-game suspension to happen a week and a half later, 2 weeks later almost. I mean, that's a long time. There's got to be something going on. But this is the annual part of the year where DeAndre Ayton goes off the rails a little bit, right? I mean, just something's going on.
It was going too well, yes.
Something's got to happen at some point. I don't know if it has really anything to do with this at all, or if it's just DeAndre Ayton time. Because they have been trying to get him involved at times. First play of the game, classic. Here, big. Touch that frickin' thing, and maybe that'll get you going. And sometimes it's good, sometimes it's bad. There's been a couple good ones, but mostly bad.
Dennis Schroeder, 3 games. So he served one last night there in that.
Kid's got the win.
I know they're 1-0 without him.
Holding them back.
Pablo Torre, go find that footage. I mean, Pablo Torre can find anything.
Right.
He should be able to find the footage. There's got to be footage. It feels like there's.
For him to
totally.
Yeah. For him to get the 3 games.
Yeah,
yes.
now. So long.
Yeah, so long after. That's a good point. When I read the December 28th, I was like, what? Huh? That's got to be a typo. Yeah, exactly. What the? When was this? What happened to the NBA media? Why weren't they all over this? We usually love a tunnel fight. Nobody, where was the footage, or where was the reports, or where was anything? It's sort of just like
leak it.
Skirted by. Yeah, exactly. Strange.
Yeah. And they would love to trade him. Love to trade him. Who wants that contract? That's a very difficult question to answer, but 2 years after this one for approximately 28, so 14 per year, I think.
Yeah.
But he can be had.
Yeah.
For sure.
It was perplexing when they signed him.
I don't know. Ime Udoka seems like a type of coach that would bring it on. He would like that. He would like to fight Dennis Schroeder, essentially. You can go nose to nose with that guy. I don't literally mean, fist to his face, but I mean that type of push, that type of guy.
Yeah.
who won a freaking gold medal last summer. Dennis Schroder, you can put the goggles on. Like Ja Morant.
Not last summer.
Was it 2 summers ago?
It was 2 summers ago.
Yeah,
USA
the summers
won
blend
the gold.
together. But they won back-to-back years. That's the weird. Anyways, doesn't matter. Germany was a champ, and you could perceive Dennis Schroder could be that guy. Ja Morant, he can be that guy. Schroder, he can be that guy.
It's just his contract isn't all that cheap, so it's not easy.
No.
Gotta get some salary going back.
A little bit, yeah.
Some other losers of the weekend here. I want to throw a couple at you guys. First one, NBA referee Bill Kennedy. This guy's not going to be officiating NBA games for a little while. The veteran ref was sidelined indefinitely after suffering a hamstring strain in Friday's game against the Sixers Magic. You guys saw the footage. He comes up limping. Oh no. And so 59-year-old Bill Kennedy, one of the more well-known refs in the NBA, especially because his sort of gone viral, colorful replay review explanations where he just kills it on the camera there. He's going to be out for a while.
People cut clips together of Bill Kennedy talking to the camera.
Yep.
Very funny.
Yeah.
And you don't see a guy rolled off in a wheelchair very often.
No.
A referee, I should say.
Right.
You don't, ever.
You think the other refs should have to take him off on their shoulders like the players do? Mm-hmm. I do too.
Yes.
They're a team.
Yeah. Yeah, that's a good point. So that sucks for Bill Kennedy. Jaylen Brown blasted the officiating crew Saturday night after the Celtics lost to the Spurs in a close game. And Jaylen Brown, he called out Curtis Blair by name. Here's your chance, Curtis Blair. Bill Kennedy's out. You can really step into the spotlight. But yeah, Jaylen Brown, for what? This has to be the 3rd or 4th time this season Jaylen Brown, after a game, has been very upset with the officiating. And maybe he has a point here. In this one, he didn't shoot any free throws. Not a single free throw he shot. He comes in averaging to that game, 7.5 free throw attempts per game. So he gets there a lot. He drives a lot. He's one of the most frequent drivers in the NBA. I think it's Denny Avdia and it's Shai Gilgeous-Alexander and it's Jaylen Brown, but he didn't get there, and he had a lot to say. Like I said, he called out Curtis Blair and he said, quote, "I'm irate at how they officiated the game today. If we can't get to the free throw line and teams are allowed to be physical and bump us off our spots, it's hard to win games like that." And he didn't get to the line, and Boston finished with a season low 4 free throws.
That's pretty low.
It's very, very low. They do shoot a lot of threes. Not Jaylen, though. I mean, he mixes it up, but the Spurs received 20 attempts. So he was pissed, and he is going to be fined if he hasn't been already. I don't know.
Yeah, he's got it, though. The guy's a top 10 paid player in the NBA. So this is the way to use your big contracts. Complain about the referees anytime you feel like it. It is odd to go from 13 free throws down to 0 free throws. Mm-hmm. He's complaining about the consistency. So
yeah,
he's got a little bit of a beef there, but it does feel like Jaylen Brown will cast aspersions on the referees if things don't go well for him. Maybe he was getting hit a few times there. It is 4 free throws is tied for the fewest amongst any team in a game so far this season. So probably worth the $35,000 he's going to get fined.
Yeah, and he also said something like it always happens against good teams or something. He said we get a shit whistle when we play the better teams in the league. You'd have to go crunch the numbers.
Is that a Toronto diss?
Because they had just beat them?
Yeah, took 13 free throws?
Yeah, possibly.
I guess compliments to the Bulls. Only 2 free throws for Jaylen Brown against the Bulls. 3 against the Nuggets. They're a good team, but they're not the same team. Is he onto something?
I don't know.
Yeah, he was mad about Peyton Watson, I think, in that 4th quarter, who was balling when they played the Nuggets. Really good defensively. But yeah, it was Jaylen Brown... conspiracy guy? Is that where we're getting?
Oh yeah,
he's a big conspiracy guy.
Yeah. When he said the Scotty Barnes got some chromosomes, extra chromosomes.
About that.
Yeah.
Jesus. He walked in. He did apologize for that.
That was fun. Yeah. I think he meant well there. I think he just meant that Scotty Barnes is literally very, 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 very strong.
Right.
I'll give him the benefit of the doubt there.
Another loser of the weekend to the Utah Jazz, suffering their worst loss in team history, at least in Salt Lake City, to the Hornets. The Jazz threw out an all-time stinker of a game over the weekend. It was on Saturday. They were down 31 points after the first quarter. Not half. Mm-hmm. Quarter, they're down 31. They continued to lose ground for the rest of the game. They lost by 55. to the Charlotte Hornets here. This is obviously not the Pistons or the Thunder or whoever elite teams here in the league. This is the Hornets, and they lost by 55. And it was great timing because, what was it, a day after I walked back all my hate for Cody Williams, saying he was washed at the age of 20 or 21, however old he is, when we did that a couple months ago. And I said, you know what? I was too hard on the kid. He's playing a lot better here, rounding into form. He literally put up the worst plus-minus recorded by an NBA player since we came up with that stat line. Since we started tracking plus-minuses, a minus 60 for Cody Williams in the loss to the Hornets. So great timing. Chef's kiss. Back to being washed.
Yeah, usually I think. I still don't know that I think Cody Williams has it. Man, a minus 60 definitely doesn't help. But usually I think when a team gets beat by like 50 or 60 points, they scored like 50 or 60 points. But no, the Jazz put up 95, which is a low number in today's NBA, but still a decent game's worth of scoring. Like the Clippers won a game where they scored 96 over the weekend, but giving up 150, I think that's the problem.
In regulation.
Yeah, that's wild, man. There's a lot of double-digit scorers here for the Hornets. I think they had 9 guys in double digits.
Wow.
It's amazing. Sion James, what were you doing out there? Played 27 minutes, scored 4 points.
He didn't crack 10?
Yeah, what are you doing,
wow,
man?
that's amazing. He's not
What's he
bad
doing?
either. I like that. Wow.
But the Jazz do that. They give up a lot of points.
Yes,
They've
yes,
got
yes, they
6
do.
games of 140 or more this season that they've given up.
I saw a stat, like they have trailed by like 25 plus points in the first quarter, like multiple times this year. It wasn't the first time they were down 31 to end the quarter, but they've been down huge holes early in games. And we say huge, like 25 points in the first quarter is nuts that you're trailing. But it's happened like 3 or 4 times I saw that stat going around. It's crazy. Any other winners or losers you wanted to tip a cap to or flip a bird to, I guess, in the case of a loser?
I'll squeeze some in.
Yeah.
In the pick'em game. Not right
Okay.
now. I'll save it. I'll save the Colin Murray Boyles love. Yeah.
Okay, we'll get to that in a second. Let's do Woboy first. Woboy of the night, sponsored by longtime No Dunks fan Cole. Cole wanted Woboy of the night to be Bone Boy of the night. And if I have my facts right, here's why. Cole is dedicating the sponsorship to his latest brew called Captain Bones, which I think you can find at the Odd Company Brewing in Edmonton. So Cole is a brewer. Okay? Captain Bones is a concoction he's working on here. So Woboy is Bone Boy. I think I got that story right, Cole. But it's going to Giannis.
That sounds right.
Okay.
That sounds right.
Yeah.
Well, boy is Bone Boy.
Yeah, Captain Bones is his wrestling name as well. He's a professional wrestler.
Oh, yes, I forgot about that part. I thought it was because he's working on a brew, though.
That part of it is probably true.
Oh,
It must be.
maybe it's all true.
Tandem. Yeah.
Maybe he's naming the new brew that he's concocting after his wrestling.
Yeah, probably.
Okay.
Yeah, he's on tour in like northern Alberta, I think.
Wrestling.
Wrestling.
And what do we know his wrestling name?
It's Captain Bones.
Oh, it's sorry.
It is Captain Bones. I think it's Captain. It's a pirate for sure.
Okay.
Yeah.
Yeah, you're right. Yeah. That sounds familiar. I remember talking to him about that.
It's a pirate. So does he wrestle with an eye patch?
I mean, he should.
I think he does. He's definitely decked out. He had a really bad injury wrestling as well. I think he broke his ankle or something. But yeah, he loves it.
Okay, Cole.
On tour.
He's on tour, yeah. He's wrestling.
Well, boy is Bone Boy.
Yeah, Woboy is Woboy. Giannis gets Woboy. Here we go. Hit the music again. Why not? 31 points, 8 boards, 11 assists for our Bone Boy of the night in Giannis. But it wasn't enough. Milwaukee did fall to the Nuggets 108-104. That doesn't matter when it comes to Bone Boy. He shot 10 of 17 from the field, 10 of 14 at the line. Game high 2 blocks, 1 steal, 33 minutes. So hell of a stat line there for only 33 minutes for Giannis.
Oof.
Yeah.
And I think he would, more than maybe any other NBA superstar, want to be known as the Bone Boy.
Yep.
Yeah, he loves it.
Good call, TK. Yeah. He is a definite Bone Boy. All right.
Hey, we all like to be Bone Boys, don't we?
That's right. Pick 'em. Tass, you wanted to show some love here to Colin Murray Boyles. Colin Murray Bones.
Yeah, they played Adam Bona yesterday and the Philadelphia 76ers. Colin Murray Boyles literally set up the game-tying shot that went to Jamal Shed that took them to overtime against Philadelphia 76ers. He just put his head down and just went after. 42 minutes, that guy was just playing hard, as he always does, as their center now with Jakob Poeltl out. Just an odd lineup that Darko Rajakovic went with to end the fourth quarter. He's playing little guys. I mentioned Elijah Martin earlier this show, Jamal Shed, and of course Emmanuel Quickley. So like 3 point guards to end this game. I loved seeing Elijah Martin getting into it with Tyrese Maxey. This is Elijah Martin. It's on a 2-way contract. He's a second-round pick. Barely played in the NBA. Getting into it with Tyrese Maxey. He's got it, man. Raptors, somehow they win games. Like they did yesterday against 76ers, where they shoot below 26% from three. They are 7-0 this season when shooting below.
This is the craziest.
26%.
We haven't lost when we are garbage from three.
Yeah, it's amazing.
Weird.
Our friend Keeks provided that stat.
Yeah.
Now, the Raptors get to host the Philadelphia 76ers again. 2 days in a row. Same arena. What will the Philadelphia 76ers do? I think they will take care of business. That's why I'm taking them. It's hard to beat that team twice. Unless you're Portland, you just did it against Houston, you know. True. So the Sixers are favored by 3.5 tonight against a team that's above them in the standings. Trey and I think the Sixers will take care of that line. Skeets, you've got the Raptors.
Yeah, I got some points to play with. I do like that. Could be a close one, and I could still win. But yeah, you guys need the Sixers to win by 4 or more as they run this back. Crazy play by Colin Murray-Boyles, though. That was a heads-up play, man. So many people shoot that because the clock is expiring, basically. Yeah. It was sort of a broken play to begin with.
He could have shot it, right?
Oh, yeah, of course he could have shot it. I'm telling you, 99% of guys would have shot that. And no one would have blinked an eye. It's like, yeah, there's not much time left. But to see Shed there and flip it to him, then for Shed to have the wherewithal to get it up there and hit that little sort of in-between, sort of tough little push shot, sort of layup. I mean, that was nice touch. So to get them into overtime,
Yeah, the headlines would be totally different, or the talk would be totally different if he missed that shot. Because it went from an 8-foot shot to a 5-foot shot. Like, it wasn't, good to great. It was just like, but nice little floater. Nice little push shot.
And then Scotty Barnes in overtime. See the slick move he did with the purposely missed second free throw? Because the Sixers did have a timeout, but he hit the first one. They should have, they could have gave him maybe the continuation on the call because he hit the shot. The ref said, no, it's on the floor. So he goes to the line, hits the first one, and then he's like, I'm just going to chuck the second one off. And it worked out because they couldn't get the ball. Game over. See if they can do it again tonight, but you guys got Philly. You need a win here. I didn't realize it's getting away from you here in the month of January. You're 1-5. Trey and I are 5-1, so somebody will be 6-1 after tonight. Atop the leaderboard.
Nice.
Yeah.
Nice.
This is my worst time of the year. I ate a fruitcake once for a pick and payoff in January. It wasn't February, depending on January. But yeah, it's just my bad time of year. That's what happens to me.
Mid-season lull.
Yeah, I also sucked to start this season. But yeah. Here we go.
You had a monster month last month, though.
Yeah.
Really good. Huge.
Yep.
All right. If you have a suggestion for the next pick 'em payoff, let us know. We'll call it there. Fun show. Lots talked about. Ja Morant, AD, winners and losers of the weekend. Who we missed when it comes to winners and losers, let us know in the comments. Tomorrow, NBA senior insider Michael Scotto is going to join us on the show. Obviously, we were going to have him last week. Then the Trae Young trade went down. He had to work the phones. So we'll have Michael Scotto back. We got to talk to him about Ja Morant. Talk to him about Michael Porter Jr. Talk to him about all these other trade rumors. So can't wait for that. Tomorrow morning at 10 a.m. Eastern. Join us here live from the Classic Factory. Hit the like button, subscribe, 5-star ratings and reviews. Until then, Clipper Bros.
You heard it here first. Have a great time. Turn up. Love you guys. Awesome.
Thanks for joining us. And remember, there are too many NBA games. Everyone's getting injured. See what happened to Bill Kennedy? Yep. Everybody.
How many games has he officiated this year?
I don't know.
I think it was 20. I think it was his 28th game.
Okay.
It's not that bad.
No, it's same as Kawhi Leonard.
Oh, yeah. Same as Kawhi.
I would have thought it'd be more.
Yeah, you would.
Yeah,
you
I would have thought it would be more than teams have played.
I'm sort of
These
just.
guys are reffing back-to-backs all the time.
I'm pulling that number out of my ass right now, but I think I saw it was in the 20s.
28 over the course of nearly 3 months. So 28 in about 85 days. It's not a lot.
of
One
travel,
every 3
though.
days.
So much travel.
That's good. That's a good job.
You think all officials are flying first class though? Probably, right?
At least at Kennedy's level. established
yeah,
officials.
yeah,
Maybe
yeah.
some of the youngers are still in coach.
Hey, Curtis Blair, get your ass to the back of the plane. Hey, what zone you in, Blair? 4? See, I'm not waiting around for your fucking Uber, all right? Get your own ride to the game. I'll be well off that plane. This is me being Bill Kennedy.
That's you being Bill Kennedy. Okay, yeah. Bill speaks a lot kinder than you do. It was hard to
I don't know
pick
why
up
I
on
went
it. Yeah.
hardcore. Maybe Bill's got a real sailor mouth when the cameras aren't on, though.
Oh, you think he's faking the funk?
Yeah, a little
Nice guy when the cameras are on. Isn't that what Dennis Schroder said about Luka? He's like, you can't call me a B word on the court and then be nice to me
Yeah,
afterwards.
right,
That's what Bill Kennedy said to Curtis Blair.
All right, rest up, Bill Kennedy, and we'll see you guys tomorrow.
Rest up,
Brace
Bill
the day,
Kennedy.
people.